So bear with me for a second. Any second now. And almost here. Right there. Can you see it? It was subtle, I know. But in that moment, I became a YouTuber. All right, back it up 1 second. So this is future Alden / editor Alden. Well, future to video Alden, but not future Alden to you, past Alden to you, but nonetheless, I digress. I know that was a little cheesy. So first off, I wanted to apologize for that. But second, I just wanted to reinforce that point that there are a lot of modifiers that I may have the privilege or get to add to the title YouTuber in the future, but right now I'm really just focused on this one, and I'm really excited that I've made my first YouTube video or am in the process of making it. But anyways, I don't want to go on too long. Back to past Alden for all of us. How did I get here? And where the heck am I going? That's what I'm going to try and answer in this video. But before we go into all of that, I think I should probably just quickly introduce myself. I'm Alden. On the internet, for as long as I can remember now, I've gone as Alden Potamus. For the last 15 years, I've been a software engineer, a manager of software engineers, and for the last 6 years, I was the tech lead of a sales engineering team at Google. And last Friday, I left my job, and I also left my career behind in order to try something totally new and totally different. I wanted to be a content creator. I wanted to make videos on YouTube, and I wanted to stream on Twitch. And that's what I'm doing. It's kind of a bizarre thing. I think that the conventional wisdom is to try it out as a hobby, see if it works, and then once you gain a following and some stability and all of these things, then dive in whole hog, and if not, no love lost and you didn't miss. But I think what I've learned over the course of my career is that right now in my life, I'm looking for something a little different. Actually, something kind of radically different. And I hope that I can explain that to you so that you understand a bit of what I'm thinking about. To rewind this story just a little bit, basically a week ago, I left my job. And given the pandemic and things, hence the serious case of COVID hair, it was kind of an unremarkable day. There was no office not to go into or any of those types of things. But I couldn't help but wait and expect reality to hit me. I was waiting and expecting that any moment I would realize the massive jump that I had just taken, the huge decision that I had just made to change my life. And it didn't come that day or that night. It didn't actually come until the next day. My goal for the weekend after I left my job was to make my first YouTube video. And I failed spectacularly. And that is a really exciting thing for me to be able to say for a couple of reasons. First is for anyone who's watching this who has existed in the corporate world, failure becomes kind of a foreign concept. Companies are designed to create profit, and risk and failure are not conducive to profit. So I've become pretty unfamiliar with failure, to be perfectly honest. I don't remember the last time that I truly out and out failed until last weekend, when I made what was objectively an awful, awful video with terrible sound, terrible lighting, audio syncing issues. The list went on and on. It was bad. And yet that gave me an incredible amount of hope. It finally clarified for me the art form that is video making, filmography, content creation, whatever you want to call it. because that's what it really is. It's an art. The skill ceiling is unlimited. Every video that I hope to create will be better than the previous video that I created. And I've seen that journey in so many very, very inspiring content creators. They've started out and their first work was their worst work. You don't even recognize the product that they've created as compared to what they were creating. They've honed their skill, their lighting, their sound design, their set design, their editing, all of these things have improved radically. And they have moved from a practitioner to an artist. And that's something that I want to do. And I know that's a long journey. I don't want to pretend that it isn't. But it's a journey that I'm incredibly excited to go on and to share my successes and my failures with an audience. Because I think that that's a very powerful opportunity to have, that this technology platform and that the ever increasingly digital world that we live in offers us. So I think that's really cool. I want to have the opportunity to be bad at something. The other thing that I've been thinking a lot about is success. As I've talked to friends and family about the journey that I'm about to undertake, I've been met with nothing but support and kindness, which I am so grateful for. It would be really easy for any one of my friends or family to look at me and be like, you're quitting a job at Google to go make videos on the internet, and you have no idea if you'll be successful at it. And that's a fair criticism. But they haven't said that. They've encouraged me to follow my passion and try something new, and for that I am deeply grateful. Some of them, who are a little more tactically minded, have asked me questions about my monetization strategy and how I'm going to grow my user base and all of these amazing things that honestly I haven't given a lot of thought to. I appreciate them pushing me in the direction of thinking about it, but I always give them the same response, and I want to share that with all of you as well. I want to define success as the act of creating, not the act of my creations being consumed. I don't have a lot of experience with this to be able to say empirically that that's the right way to be, but it seems to make sense to me that if I define success as creating a video that is better than the last video that I created, that's completely within my hands. That's within my control. I can do that. I can work harder. I can get smarter. I can learn more, and I can do those things. If I chose to define success based on subscribers, I'm ceding a lot of my own feeling of self-worth and success, or perception of my success, to luck and people outside of myself and things like that. And I don't want to do that. I'm okay with not having a large number of subscribers or a large following. What I'm not okay with is not growing and learning and improving. And so I want my own internal metrics for what success means to reflect the journey that I want to go on. So this is the beginning. My goal is to create weekly videos about things that I am interested in, passionate about, fascinated by, curious about, and share them with whoever wants to watch. My goal is to be authentic. I'm not going to twist and contort myself to attract a larger audience. That's not me. I just want to be my authentic self and come what may from there. Some things that you might see on this channel. I am passionate already about photography and hope to soon be as passionate about videography. I have a real interest in technology. I love gadgets and things like that. I used to play Ultimate Frisbee, never at the level of some of the other YouTubers, cough, MKBHD. But I do love Ultimate Frisbee, hence the Frisbees on the wall behind me. And so who knows, some of my content may find its way there as well. I give a lot of thought to current events in the world. This won't be a news channel. I'm not going to try and keep people updated, and I'm not going to be overly political on this channel, but I do like to think about the way that the world works and share my thoughts on that. My philosophy about this channel centers around a lot of my thinking about mindfulness, self-compassion, and worthiness. It's my intention to share some of the things that I've learned and some of the thoughts that I have about how I think those things should figure more heavily into our day-to-day lives. How feeling that we are worthy can make a massive difference in our health, our happiness, and the way that we live our lives. So that's just a sampling of some of the things that I'm hoping to talk about as part of this channel. But I'm excited. I expect that most of the people watching this video in the months and maybe years after I release it will be people who know me personally. Former colleagues, shout out to my CSEs, friends, family, friends of other family members who are encouraging them strongly to watch. And by the way, don't watch if you don't want to. It'll be okay either way. But to all of you who are watching, thank you. I can't express how excited I am to go on this journey. It starts with me putting myself out there and others getting something out of it. So I'm excited to find my way to wherever it might lead. But in the meantime, this has been my first video. And maybe 2 years from now, I'll look back at it and say that it's real garbage. Probably will. But for now, it's the first step on a journey that requires a first step. So thank you, and catch you next week. Not apotamus. Ponderous.